Hey, what's up everyone? This is Dark Pool Algo, and today is Monday, April 12th, 2021. What a crazy day it was. There was ups, there was downs, there was waiting for the hammer to drop, and hopefully everybody had a great day. So what I'd like to do today is take a few minutes. I want to go through the FlowTrade system a little bit. I want to showcase how to look at, how to play, and how to spot divergence, how to use a divergence scanner, how to use some of the drawing tools. I want to review a couple plays that we're in, as well as a couple that are setting up. We even have a bearish play setting up, which is awesome. So, if you find this content useful, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for additional videos. If you have any suggestions or requests, make sure you hit me up in the comments. I am new to this YouTube thing, but I'm really good at technology. So give me a little bit, I'll get it under wraps and just keep providing you guys the best possible content that I can. So let's go ahead and jump into it. What you see in front of you is the Dark Pool Algo, the FlowTrade backend. In particular, what we have here is we're going to be looking at the Divergence Scanner that they provide. This runs in real time. It allows us to do a couple nice things, such as filter divergence from stocks only on our watch list, filter individual stocks. We can switch between 15 bars and 30 bars. That is on the 1 minute chart. The bars are what takes place over here on the 1 minute chart. We have the ability to sort by time, type. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse clicks here. Symbol, price, type, and time. Let's go ahead and draw a couple. Draw a rectangle around here for that. So LVS seems to have come up off of our Divergence Scanner, bullish. It's also one of the stocks that I reviewed this morning, and it's also one that I believe was in the weekly watch list that we provide every week for free. You can sign up over darkpoolcharts.com. I'm going to go ahead and enlarge my screen from this 4-chart layout to a single chart so that you guys can see a better view of what's going on. All right, we are back. So the screen that I have in front of me is the 1 minute divergent 1 minute time frame chart. As you can see here, we are looking at bullish divergence, and the reason that it's considered bullish divergence, even though price action is going down, right? We had the Dark Pool Algo start buying. What will happen is what we consider this divergence playing out is when this level here, when price action comes back up and either goes higher than current price action, or when price action comes up and meets the algo once again. If we were to pull up LVS on a chart, I want to look, go ahead, oops. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the 15-minute time frame chart. I'm going to clear out my drawings. I'm going to clear out drawings here. A little bit more of the platform overview I wanted to go over with you. There, we have several indicators in this area here. One, this allows you to choose between regular block trades, dark pool block trades, and all block trades. This is the amount of block trades that you want to be shown on the screen. This area here is to display block trades. This area, this one here, is to, sorry. This icon indicates you want to show block trades. This icon indicates whether or not you want to show the divergence of the block trades. My typical setup is I want to show block trades. I look at the dark pool, and unless there's a ton of them, I just leave it at the default settings. We also have some drawing tools that we're able to use. They are getting better. It's pretty nice to have. Some immediate things that I see with LVS is that, again, today, towards the end of the day, we have the curling up of the algo, which indicates that there is buying and a generalized overstronger movement upwards. The block trade lines that you see can be used very similar to support and resistance lines. What will happen is as price action approaches these levels, if it's coming from low to high, this level is going to act as a resistance because some institutions that may have bought there or could be selling, and if they're selling, they could be buying, right? They act as magnets, up or down. So with LVS, we have a block trade that occurred 7 days ago for 6 to 320. And looking at, I'm going to zoom out a little bit here on this chart to get kind of a more overall view of the price action for LVS. You can see that price action spent a little bit of time at this block trade level. It decided it wanted to, it basically gapped up. So this block trade is for April 5th, which is where this, April 5th, right? The next day, it gapped up over it and used it as support that day. Since then, price action has been trading with the algo until we came upon the divergence that can be seen here on April 10th. And so now what we're looking to have happen is, draw some more stuff here. We had divergence that started here. We need price action or the algo, doesn't one or the other, to come back to this level to complete the divergence. Since the algo is curled up, it would indicate that the price action is going to be the one that's pulled up to complete out the divergence. All right. Okay. I'm going to hop over and check out LVS. the chart. All right, so this is after hours. With after hours data turned on, let me just turn that off for a minute. And go into the 15-minute chart. All right, so the divergence that we're looking for to play out do the 5-minute chart. All right, the divergence that we're looking for to play out is this last area of divergence here. This last area of divergence there. Changing this back to purple. Go to pink. Right, so what we can see here with LVS from a technical standpoint is a couple things. First of all, price action came up, got rejected at the 200-day simple moving average, which is here. However, my EMAs and the 50-day simple moving average are all stacked positive, as you can see here. Right? So you can see in this general area, we have it's not oversold or overbought RSI. It's just kind of in the middle, not really doing anything. And our MACD's starting to lose momentum in this area here. Okay. So what the algo is telling us is that, hey, since the dark pool algo is straight up buying in this general direction, right? And price action is heading down, they have to meet again. Without getting super technical, that's just, the divergence has to play out, and it will play out. There's no time frame for it. It could be 20 minutes, it could be 2 days, but the divergence does play out. So what we would look to see happen would be for price action to find support at the 34 or the 50-day, 34 EMA or the 50-day simple moving average for a direction back up. So what I believe happened was, let's do this. What I believe happened was we got that after hours. Right? Divergence played out after hours with this massive candle, this 30-cent candle. At this point, we still have a play on LVS. Clear this stuff. LVS on the daily has came down, and it's starting to form what I call the woo pattern, or what the group calls the woo pattern. That means is that, sorry, I'm going to get this someplace. There we go. Simply put, Price action comes down, finds support. This time it found support at the 50-day simple moving average. Reverses long. I'm sure it ran into some sort of resistance at this $64 level, whether it's the psychological $64 level or there's some other resisting factor there, but it found resistance. And now this is, it's coming back down to test support again, probably right there at that 50. Since everything is still essentially stacked positively, you can anticipate a move in a trend following direction. So basically it's going to move higher since it's found support. On the intraday, that's exactly what happened. We came down, we sold off, obviously we started good, we sold off through the day, we found support. We found support in this generalized area here. We had the divergence played out, right? The algo on the daily is, oh goodness. The algo on the longer term time frame is curled up. We've got the price magnet of this block trade. So, this is still a valid long play. We're going to run into some resistance here at the 62.42 level. Okay. All right. Next one, I'm going to start moving through these a little bit quicker since I don't have to explain, or I don't feel like I need to explain the back end and the algo any further. If you guys need me to do a deeper dive onto each one of the tools within the back end of FlowTrade, I would love to. I would love to be able to help you all out with that. There's a lot of neat stuff. Great for any sort of trading system that you want to use. There's a lot of really good information here, and you get that market edge. One thing before I go to the next stock that I wanted to share with you was, if you ever have any question or concern about how divergence plays out, you can always replay it, right? We have a replay tool that allows us so that you can see how price action interacts with the algo, right? Let me see if I can speed this up a little bit here. Right there. If you see where it diverged here, right? This is a divergence level. Price action, divergence has to play out. Oh, sorry, I was a little slow. As you can see, the divergence here played out, right? Knowing that divergence happened here, and you decided, and since the algo was buying at that point, look for a bottom. Know that the algo is pulling price action up. And you can watch price increase. If you ever want to just get familiar with how the algo works, grab a couple of your favorite tickers from the day before and run it through the replay, right? We've got price action to trading with the algo, right? Small divergence, larger divergence, it's trading with the algo, right? Major divergence there that has to play out, right? I'm going to do the last one, and then I'm going to hop into the next stock. So we had divergence here that has to play out. Price action was selling while, or excuse me, the algo was selling while price action was increasing. We're going to be looking for this level here for price action to meet the algo again and complete the divergence. Right? Since price action went ahead and met the algo at this point, this bearish divergence played out. All right, moving on to the next one. We can grab one from here. I know that I'd gone over EA this morning. I'm going to do these last two pretty quickly. I'm going to go over EA, and then I'm going to go over a play that I got into for Wolf or something like that. I think it's some pet product. Okay. EA on the 1 minute is totally trading with the algo. Price action is following the algo. Ever since we went ahead and we made this bottom, we got a strong buying from large institutional money. On the 15 minute chart, we had bullish divergence happen back on the 9th. That's still continuing. As you can see, the price action is trading with the algo. Even though we had a little bit of a retracement to this level here, which I bet you when we pull it up on the chart is going to be a level of support or previous resistance. There was a gap down here. Price, this is one of my favorite patterns to play, where it goes up, breaks through previous resistance, comes back down, makes that resistance support, and then continues on. You know, that's a 1, 2, 2, 3 pattern. Some people call it, you know, I've heard it called breach retreat. Let's see, so it's the, you know, the 1, 2, 3 Dow theory. Breach retreat. I've heard it called a Busby. There's lots of things. I call it a money pattern because that's what happens when you see it. All right. Let me clear these out of here. And then let's pull up EA on, clear house. I went over EA this morning. We've got trend line support. We see that EA it respects the trend that came down. We got support there, came down, tested support, and now it's on its next move upward. We're starting to form that 1, 2, 3 pattern where we're up, we're back to support, and then we're up for our next move, right? So keeping all of that in mind, knowing that there's a couple other positives that we have happening here. MACD is rising with momentum. We are beginning This is not an RFI indicator, it's more of a market extension. It's a little different in that once it breaks the the $60 range, for me it's a buy signal, or a sell signal. I think it's a little backwards. And then when it comes down and it breaks the $40 oversold, I consider that a buy signal. So we have a positive MACD. We are in a buying or value area. We've got that indication. We've got that pattern happening. We are above the 200 SMA, the 50 SMA. All of my EMAs have crossed over and are stock positive, right? If we brought this down on a lower time frame, I drew this box here because this is two things. We've got a 50% retracement level that I wanted to see to hold support, and it did. So bringing it down onto a lower time frame. Price action decided it wanted to do what I asked it to do, right? Friday it came down, found support. This morning, since we were under the 200 SMA, we sold off. A lot of that was probably computer generated. We sold off. However, we found a base here. We pushed our way up with the algo leading the way, right? The algo leading the way. Came up. We did the 50 to 60, 50% to 618% range, right? Resistance. It came up, ran into resistance, came back down. The whole time, the algo is trading with price action and is rising. So it's pulling price action to where it wants to be. Towards the end of the day, we came back up and tested this 618 level several times. And if we were to continue to either get into this position or hold this position, if we would be able to use the Dark Pool Algo is still buying pretty significantly on the 1 minute and the 15 minute. If we were to take a position long on this, I would let the algo be my indication as to when to get out. Or if you want to use other technical indicators, you can. I like to have the algo be my first indicator of a change in direction. Hold on for me for 1 second. Sorry about that. My wife had to go to the Instacare, the urgent care today. She's not feeling the greatest. Something going on with her throat. Hopefully nothing more than that. All right. If we were to take a position in EA now, I would definitely wait for a close above the 618. If we do close above the 618, I would use the algo as an indicator of generalized direction, right? If the algo is buying, I'm staying in the position. I would look for a target of 142.50 followed by 143.79, 142.50, 143, try to find some liquid options here. Not really seeing a lot. There we go. We head out to the 18th June, 140, 150's got the most open interest, which leads me to believe that 150 or the 160s, right? We've got in a $20 market maker move, 39% IV. There's some good money to be made there. All right, I'm going to do one more, and then I got to take care of some things. I'm going to pull one off of the scanner, though, as a new stock. And I'm going to go with I like to look through names here. I'm going to go with JD. Okay. JD. Oh, look, that's beautiful. All right. I got to be quick about this. We've got bullish divergence. Bullish divergence all over the place. The algo is net buying significantly. It's been all day with buying. It's just buying, 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 right? It was on full send mode. We have block trade levels. Let me get these up here. Okay. Algo is buying. We have divergence that began on the 7th, right? Our last block trade came in on April 9th for $80. That area acted as support the entire day. It gapped down, found support again. It's starting to form that H pattern. Basically looks like this, comes down, goes up, comes down, right? As soon as it finishes that last H and you get some sort of support here, right? It's off to the races. Also the W, we call it Wu-Tang pattern, Wu-Tang Clan. All right, anyway. So yeah, we've got a block trade magnet at $80. We've also got a block trade at 82, 83, 84, right? Pretty significant cluster. Okay. So I don't know what I did there. JD on the daily. As you can see, here's that pattern that you saw. Up, down, up, double bottom, H pattern, W pattern, whatever you want to call it. It's in that pattern right now. What I'm not super thrilled about with JD is we have a potential Backbeat cross down. However, we do have some positive momentum. We are beginning to be oversold. I don't like that my EMAs are stacked negatively, as you can see here. Again, there's that H pattern forming. Since the algo, this is me personally, I tend to get into things a little earlier than most. Since the algo has been net buying, just steadily buying, I'm okay with getting into this position since it made a higher high today. And a higher low, higher high and a higher low. I feel like this is kind of setting up for a move upwards. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit. Right. This is going to be the last leg in the W pattern. Right. So initially, what I'd like to see is JD stack the EMAs positive for a nice move upwards. Looks like we're going to run into some resistance. However, those block trade levels, that block trade at 80 and then 82 is going to act as a magnet, right? So we've got a block trade approximately in this area here, right? And then we've got a block trade right here at this 50% retracement. So I got into JD all on the basis of this massive divergence that you see here. Right. So that's going to be, actually, I've got time for one more. Clear it out. Let's take a look at AAPL. TSM. Let's look at a bearish one. We haven't done that yet. Apple, Plan, Python, QS, IWM, Twitter. Let's go with Apple. So, nice tool, being able to filter block trades out, right? I only want to see, 12. I don't want to see 30. So I'm going to pull this down to the last 5 or so. Apple has bearish divergence on the Divergence Scanner 1-minute chart. That's this bearish divergence here. As you can see, this is what I was talking about earlier. Price action, when it gets to those block trade levels, resistance, support, resistance, right? So we've got the Dark Pool Algo is net selling. It was selling with price, right? Something came in here. Apple found support. So as price action was, buying, the algo was selling, this divergence has been played out, and this is why. So divergence began here, where price action is going in one direction, the algo begins going in another direction. This is the level that we're looking for it to be considered played out. Just because we have these, this run of red candles doesn't mean that it's going to completely sell off. It just means that this divergence here has happened and it's played out. Okay? It's important to look at those subtle little nuances. So Apple is running into some pretty significant resistance at this 131.50 level, which is where that block trade came in. The 131.50 block trade from today is going to be the resistance. We also have a 131.78 block trade that came in, and a 132. So the last one came in at 1402, which is 4 o'clock. Okay, levels to look for: 131.50, 132 for Apple. Apple on the daily. Apple on the daily. Just get some information here. Ooh. So you can see sold off. We sold, we came down, we found support at the 200-day SMA. We came back up, found resistance at the 34 EMA, came back down, confirmed support at the 200 SMA, right? It's that H pattern again, down, found support, came up, tested against resistance, usually at the 34 EMA, comes back down, finds support, right? Whether it's on block trade level, Keltner channel, in this case it's a 200 SMA for its next move upwards, right? Apple has been making this bullish move up today. Yes. So on Friday we had all of our moving averages get stacked positive, right? This is a stacked EMA. This indicates bullish, or indicates continued direction. If it's stacked bullish, then we would look at continued bullish direction. If it's stacked bearish, obviously bearish. That's a pretty strong indicator that you've got a trend. We've got positive MACD. We are in a buy area, right? It's a little overbought, but not much. I find that there's a lot of massive moves that happen in this, greater than 60 level on the RSI. So we came up, we smacked into some sort of resistance here, right? We could be forming a cup and handle. Get these all, we kind of got this shape here. We could consider this the potential of a cup and handle. Very likely. All right. Apple on the 15-minute time frame. It's a lot of block trades. Let me get rid of some of those. Okay, Apple on the 15-minute time frame. Looks as if though it made the high that it wanted to, came down, found some support, but rather than coming down and finding support and continuing on, right, it's selling off. So with using the block trade or the Dark Pool Algo as my guide, it's a predictive indicator letting me know what large institutional money is doing. You know, institutional money is selling Apple right now. So what do I want to do? Learn how to use a chart. I want to make sure that if I'm in a position that I define some very specific rules, right? If Apple breaks, if Apple breaks this 200 SMA document, actually, for me, if Apple breaks the 200 SMA, I'm going to look to, maybe find out where its next level of support is. What I don't like about Apple right now is that my moving averages are all stacked bearish, with the last holdout is this 180-day SMA. So one of two things can happen with Apple. It can follow what the Dark Pool Algo is doing, right? Fade off to, previous level of support, wherever that may be. Right? Or it can just do what it wants to do and move upwards. However, I'm going to, take a position of, if Apple breaks the 200 SMA, I'm going to look to watch it. I'm going to look to possibly enter into this kind of generalized position, because it's going to take a lot to get through, a 21, an 8, a 21, a 34 exponential moving average, and then also get on top of the 50-day simple moving average. It takes a lot to do, but when it does it, it's a glorious move. Not saying it can't, I'm just saying that it does take a lot. So that's it. Thank you all for joining me. Please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps out the algo. Comment in the comment section below for anything you'd like to see me tackle in the future. And make sure you head over, get your free trial of FlowTrade if you don't already have it. That information can be found at our website, darkpoolcharts.com. And thanks for spending some time with me.